updating PS Link device software. Interesting. The PlayStation Portal is finally here in our hands, and I have so many questions. Hello and welcome back to Gears and Tech. We've talked about the PlayStation Portal for a few videos now. It's been a long time coming. They announced it kind of out of the blue a few months ago. We jumped on the pre-order very early on and we've been waiting until this day. So finally, the PlayStation Portal has arrived. Now, I've made some predictions in the past about what this is going to actually do. I want to know, will those predictions actually come true? Specifically, I think that Sony is gearing up to make the PlayStation Portal direct stream from Sony servers rather than having to do remote play from your PlayStation 5 directly to the Portal. I hoped that it would be kind of a day one kind of update, but I haven't seen any news or chatter about this online, and I'm not the first person to get my hands on one of these. So perhaps I was wrong, but we're gonna do unboxing. We're gonna have a look and see. The second prediction that I made was that this will actually include eSIM support so that you can get an always on internet connection so that when you're streaming your game from Sony's servers, you actually don't need to be tethered to Wi-Fi either. You can be connected to it anywhere where a cell phone provider operates. Those are some pretty big claims, and I'm prepared to admit that I might be wrong with those predictions, but maybe I'm not wrong. Maybe I was right, but I don't know because it's still in a box. And one of the problems of having a moderately lowly successful YouTube channel is, even though I knew this was here, I knew that I had to come home and make this unboxing video before I could even put my hands on this thing in the first place. So finally, the excitement has come to its peak. It is time to do an unboxing of one of the coolest toys of this year. Start by cutting that tape off right there. We'll just, now Sony loves to put a box inside a box. So I'm thinking that's what's gonna happen here. Now what is, ooh, okay. So look at, Okay, so right here it's got a really cool PlayStation logo and it does it like a drawer. So it slides the drawer open. Okay, the box is kind of hefty. It does have some instructions or contents on the back. The front does say, I know you want to know what's inside there, but it says remote player, and then it's got some French on there for PS5. So early indications are that it is just a remote player and that's it. So now that we've pulled this drawer out, this is actually, that's really cool that they've done that. This is a neat experience. We'll pop this top cover off here. Ooh, okay. I know you want to know what's in there, but look at what's under here is the case for this. This is actually pretty neat. Now, do I have to open? Okay. I gotta say, they've definitely upped their unboxing experience. So inside here, a USB-C to USB-C cord. Presumably this will allow it to connect to my PlayStation 5, which actually I have one over there, the PlayStation 5 Slim, that has two front USB-C ports, and that's probably because this can plug into that and maybe use it as a wired controller without remote play, maybe, but it also will charge it for sure. So put that over there. I'm actually really impressed with this. So I like when companies put a little bit of extra effort into the unboxing experience. So, you know, it's something simple. It's cardboard, so it reduces on packaging. It keeps the USB-C exactly where you want it to, but it creates this kind of unique experience. Now, in here, we've got what I'm gonna believe is the device itself, but there is something underneath here. So I just want to see what that is. So we're gonna pull that up. And again, we've got some folded over cardboard, all recyclable packaging, which is nice. And then we've got at the very bottom some instructions, and this has, now I'm not going to read the instructions because it shouldn't be that hard. So I'm going to put this back together just like that. I'm really digging this classic PlayStation 1 gray color. Those of you may not have noticed, but this color is very, very similar to the PlayStation 1 original classic gray colors. They're paying homage to the PlayStation 1, going back to their roots. Very, very impressive. And then here is in one of these little baggies. Oh yeah, getting caught on the analog sticks. First off, it's got a screen protector on here that highlights all of your buttons. So power buttons over here, whatever this button is, I'm not sure what that symbol is, and maybe you guys know what that is. We'll find out later. Volume up and down, QR code down there. Let's peel this off for the first time. Exposing our screen. Now this is the actual unit. Now, I'm not going to power it on yet. I just want to explore the features of it, and we're going to grab this guy, which is a brand new DualSense controller that came with that PlayStation 5 Slim, so that we can get kind of a context for shape and size. So the first thing I notice, and you guys will too, is the analog sticks are smaller than the regular PlayStation analog sticks. So that's right off the bat. I do notice that. But everything else seems to be the same. So the D-pad is the same. The share button is the same. If I come over here, your action buttons on the top are the same size. That button's the same. Even the mic mute button is the same. And the PS button, which is up over here, is the same. Now, if I turn it to the side, and to the side, you can see my L1 and R1 they're the same. And it's all the same. The grip itself, if I kind of feel it, it's the same size. It's hard to show on camera that it's the same, but it's definitely the same size grip. So in your hand, it feels like a DualSense controller. The difference is your hands are wider apart. So if you're wondering what this would feel like to you, you can grab, well shoot, I don't have another DualSense controller. Let's pretend, well, I know it's hard to pretend, but let's pretend this is a DualSense controller. You can just grab this, hold them like this together, and this is exactly what it feels like to hold them together. If you want see how they're kind of slipping around, you could tape these together and then say, okay, now I know what it feels like, and then pretend there's a screen in the middle. You know, you could take your cell phone, tape your cell phone to that, and we've got ourselves a Sony Portal. Just like that. That's how they made it, okay? Coming around to the front, so we've got volume buttons here, which is nice. We've got the power button there, which I don't want to push yet because I want you guys to see it power up for the first time. So I got to move this camera around here so we can all see it at the same time. We've got that button, which I don't know what it does. Around the back on the bottom, there's a USB-C port right here, and I'll kind of hold it over here so you can see, and a headphone jack, a wired headphone jack. The bottom of the screen has the microphone input, so if you're playing a game that needs a microphone, that's where it is. Pressing the mic button on and off will presumably mute and unmute that microphone. And on the top, we didn't really talk about it, there's another microphone port up there. Now, with multiple microphones, it allows you to take a reading of the sound in the room plus your voice and decide which microphone to use for your voice capture. And it can actually effectively mute the sounds of other noises around you so that your voice gets amplified. And they do that through a special way. I can explain that in a different video because it gets quite technical. And this video is not about how to reduce ambient sounds in a room. There's also two speaker ports, one there and one there. How do they sound? I don't know, but we can find out. We can find out. The rest of it is actually, even the way that this attaches, I'll bet you this pops right off. Exactly the same as a PlayStation controller. So it's a very similar experience. So we'll do one more look like this at them side by side. You can kind of see what they look like. Now, next thing we got to do is turn this thing on. Now the screen is impressive. It's got a good viewing angle to it. This is our first boot, so I have no idea what's going to happen for our first boot. We're going to take you through it. I love that swirl effect on there. It's reminiscent of the Knight Rider. Oh, listen to that, you even got some volume. Okay, so let's set this up. Networks found. So we're just setting up the internet connection. Now, as predicted, there is a day one update for this. Will it unlock eSIM or remote play services? Let's find out. We're gonna do a download. We're gonna agree. It's not a big update, 145.8 megabytes. Okay, so the update presumably has completed at 97%, or it just powered off. Okay, there we go. So it's doing a reboot after the update. Now I will admit, this update took forever. Despite the size of it, only being 140 whatever megabytes or whatever, it took a good almost 10 minutes to do that update. So what exactly was it updating? Well, I don't really know, but hopefully now this will boot us into the user experience. I love that progress bar that with the kind of fade effect going across the screen like that. That's really cool. Oh, now it's updating. Updating controller device software. Interesting. So we updated the system, updating PS Link device software. Interesting, interesting, interesting. I'll talk about why that's interesting after we get through this process. I want to do the boot up, but let's talk. Ooh, this is good stuff. This is good stuff. Okay, now it's doing another restart. So we get to see the sweet progress bar that I'm so excited about. I guess that's all I've done so far is just watch that progress bar. So if that's the most exciting thing this does, then it's going to be kind of a dud. But I'm expecting it to do even more exciting things than have a cool progress bar. Hopefully this is the last update, and then we can check out the UI. So we just got to keep trucking along through here. System software update, okay. And there we go. To sign in, scan the QR code. This is giving us a QR code that it wants us to scan. So let's try scanning it. And then it wants to approve my sign in, which is done. It's that easy. Now, connect to PS5 to play. Pair your device with any PS5 you've recently logged into. You can change which PS5 your device is paired with at any time. Okay, so it looks like I don't have to go to the PS5 to pair it. So I'm gonna try, I'm gonna say select a PS5, and it's giving me two options. Now we have Daddy's PS5, that's me, I am Daddy, and PS5 157. Now that one is my wife's PlayStation 5. I have both on my account, and there's some good reasons for that. Some of you probably already know those reasons as soon as you saw this, but if you don't know, post a comment down below and ask me why that is, and I will walk you through in another video exactly why you might want to do something like this. But in this case, I want to be on Daddy's PS5. So it says we're connected, it says success. I'm gonna click next. We get our sweet boot up screen. And now I'm connecting to Daddy's PS5. Now you may notice, this is called the PlayStation Portal. You may notice the kind of round portal-like experience that we're having right here, where we're kind of connecting through a portal. Maybe you didn't notice, but this is kind of what I think. Maybe I'm trying to create fake irony here, but it seems like they've embraced this portal theme. Holy, whoa, look at that. Okay, so it kept that portal animation all the way through. It is now connected to my PlayStation 5, as you can see here. Now I'm gonna do a quick test just to see if there's any kind of noticeable lag. My PlayStation 5 is just around the corner. I'm connected over 5G on here, and I'm on a LAN connection, a hardwired connection from my PlayStation 5 to my router. So I've got about the best connection possibility that you could consider having. So let's hit start. We're gonna go into the game that I always go into. Let me move this over here so you guys can see. So I'm just trying the adaptive triggers, and they're definitely working. But what I don't know is why. There we go. I just want to see kind of how it feels is what I'm looking for, like the triggers and everything. And then I'll tell you why I even got this thing in the first place. So it seems okay. Let's press the PS button and see what happens. So it's exactly like being on the PlayStation 5. There's no noticeable lag right now, which is excellent. Now, while we were doing the update, which was painfully long, I got really excited as I watched certain things update. And I'm gonna explain what that is right now. So you noticed we saw controller module updating. Then you noticed that we saw PS remote play module updating. Then we saw system updating. So the reason I'm getting excited is some people have surmised that this is really just a DualSense controller with a screen in the middle. The fact that there's clearly different modules makes me believe that inside of here is actually different controller components. So there's definitely a controller component for sure, no doubt. There's a controller just like this inside here. But the interesting thing is that the controller doesn't have the screen baked into it. So we saw that the controller module updated separately. That makes me think that the module in here is the same as the module in here. That alone is not interesting, but the fact that it has the PS Remote Play special module that updated separately means it doesn't reside in one solid piece. It's a modular update system, which means inside here is actually multiple modules. That means there will be one main module that will handle the communication with the PlayStation 5, the whole protocol. It will have a module that communicates with the screen, a module that communicates with the PlayStation Remote Play, and a module that communicates with the controllers. Now, because of the modularity of it all, it potentially means that the hacking scene is going to have a heyday with this, because there's multiple points of entry. There's the ability to get into this system through any one of those modules or weaknesses in the communication protocol. Now, this is not a video about hacking. I have no idea exactly what I'm talking about. And the people who know what I think I'm talking about are sitting here laughing right now saying this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. So we're both going to agree that I don't know, but the fact that there's multiple modules is exciting for me for the future possibilities. But as a handheld unit itself, why does this exist and why do we care? It exists because someone like me wants something like this. I saw that the communities as a whole kind of have been laughing at this, calling it the Wii U of Sony, but it's actually sold out everywhere right now, and all of a sudden everyone wants to get their hands on one. Why do you suddenly want to get your hands on one? Because it's pretty cool. It feels good. It's nice in the hands. It's a first-party solution to a problem that I have, and I'm going to explain that problem. So you just saw me play Miles Morales Spider-Man. Now, I've been meaning to play this game for a long time, but the thought of sitting down in the dark basement by myself playing a Spider-Man game is a problem for me. I'm not that person who hides out in the basement. I want to kind of be out and around where other people are and be kind of able to join in and out of those conversations. This allows me to do a full experiential game in a space where other people can kind of come and go, and I get to do kind of both, multitask in a sense. But I don't miss out on these adaptive triggers. I don't miss out on the first party Sony experience, the experience that they had in mind when they created the DualSense controller. This has all of the features of the DualSense controller. So a lot of people are looking at this saying this or Backbone or this or a different option. I'm gonna do a future video that compares a few different other remote play options. So I'm gonna reserve my reasoning why I would pick this overall. But right now, for the price that it is, I'm picking this. Now, the long-term question that I have, and you guys probably have as well, is after the lights fade and after everything goes down and after people stop talking about it, am I still gonna pick it up and use this over just going and using my PlayStation 5? I don't know the answer to that question because that time hasn't passed yet. But what I can say, actually I'm not gonna say, I'm gonna leave you guys hanging there. We're gonna find out together. This is a journey we're gonna take together. I'm super stoked about this. I'm actually gonna be using this all weekend to give this a try and just get my full hands-on impressions of it so I can come back and do a follow-up video to see if I'm still in love with it. But right now, I'm actually even more in love with it than I thought I would be. I'm really, really, really excited about this product and trying it out a lot more. Hey, thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. We hope you enjoy the content in this video, and we'd love to have you come back. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And for those subscribers who are looking for that extra special thing that you can do to support this channel, consider joining our members group. That's where we're building this community, the Gears and Tech community, where we can all enjoy content together. You'll get special perks, which we'd love for you to check out by clicking the link down below. For those of you who are just happy to watch the video, that's okay too. You can check out some of our other content right over here, where we've got some previous videos that have already been uploaded and enjoyed by many of our viewers already. We do hope to see you again. This has been Gears and Tech. Have a great day.